Thanks a lot for having us here. Internet dinosaur. I don't think that's a name that applies to us. We're a startup. We consider ourselves as a startup still, but it's true that we have some large companies who support the vision of FON. What is FON? FON is the world's largest Wi-Fi network. It's a company that's based on a community approach of people sharing their home Wi-Fi and thereby creating a network of people who share Wi-Fi with each other. Right? The problem we have, we started in 2006 with the realization that Wi-Fi starts to pick up. Back then, everybody had laptops. Back then, nobody thought of smartphones. Now, everybody walks around with smartphones all the time and does all the cool application and internet services that you build or a lot of companies build. We came from a perspective of saying, look, the need for mobile data is growing, but mobile networks are not built out sufficiently and will have difficulties to cope with that demand for mobile data. That was the vision. We started in Europe. We're a European company, even though we do have some international investors, notably Google and Skype and index managers from here. We have Sequoia. All of those sharing the vision that a large Wi-Fi network can create an additional benefit for the mobile network infrastructure. How does it work? Okay, and I have one of those here as well. Think about it this way. All of us, we have Wi-Fi at home. All of us have Wi-Fi at home. But when you go out and you want to use Wi-Fi on the go, then what you find is usually you find a Wi-Fi network that's locked down to your personal network use. Okay? So you have a little logo on it that says you can't access that Wi-Fi network because you need the keyword. That's what we're solving. We have created a technology that splits your Wi-Fi network into two Wi-Fi networks. So instead of one signal, your router sends two Wi-Fi signals. We started doing that with our own Wi-Fi router, that little thing here that you see here as well. And what you would do as a user, you would go home, you would get this online, you would plug it into your existing DSL or cable modem, and it would send two Wi-Fi signals, one for yourself and one for the community. We manage the access to the second Wi-Fi SSID. Okay? Every member who has one of those at home gets access to everybody else's Wi-Fi. Right? So it's a crowdsourced approach to Wi-Fi. And instead of having your Wi-Fi for yourself, you give Wi-Fi also to anybody else who's in reach of your Wi-Fi signal. Two things. It's secure. We separate it with a firewall. And your home traffic is prioritized. So when you share, you not really share. It's like sharing air conditioning. You share, but you don't give anything up because you already have it at home anyhow, so people can use it. We have 12 million hotspots right now, and that's in our area, that's a large number. Okay? When you look at other companies that are leaders in Wi-Fi hotspots, they usually have hotspots in the thousands. We have 12 million. How do we reach that? Well, mostly because we work with the telco dinosaurs. We work with the big telcos. And instead of handing out a separate piece of hardware, like this here, what we do is we integrate our software into the routers of the partners. Okay? You see here some companies we're working with. It's usually in Europe, it's usually the incumbent or the second largest telco in the country. And we work with them to integrate our software into the existing routers. Think about British Telecom or Deutsche Telekom or KPN. It's a software upgrade of the existing router. So in Belgium, what we did is we worked with Belgacom on integrating that software into their DSL modem. Then overnight, we upgraded 1 million home routers to not only send one Wi-Fi signal, but then send two Wi-Fi signals. Okay? Now, you might say it's a bit intrusive, right? Because people would go sleep, and next day they would have two Wi-Fi signals. So it's kind of an opt-out service that we're providing. But the truth is the customers are extremely happy about that because what they get with that is they don't give up anything, and in turn they do get access to all these other hotspots. So when I come here to London or anywhere where we have a dense coverage, I get free Wi-Fi access to all these hotspots. Okay? 12 million is a number that when you walk around, maybe not in this area, but when you walk around in the UK or in Belgium or in any one of these areas and randomly look for Wi-Fi, chances are between 60 to 80% that you find one of our hotspots. Okay? Now, the use case is not that you go around and look for Wi-Fi. Okay? The use case is, and that would be the user experience. If you go and look for Wi-Fi and you get into a FON hotspot, this is what you would see. You would see a captive portal that you can connect to. You have a username and password, and you can connect to that with a one click with a username and password. The use case is that your phone connects automatically. Right? So don't think of, oh, I'm looking for Wi-Fi, and when can I get Wi-Fi? No, the use case is, I mean, like I had to do here. I mean, I have to look for it. I have to put in a keyword, and it's cumbersome. And usually the keyword or the password is a lot more complicated than the one I got here, which is written here physically on this thing here. Right? It's weird. The use case is you have an app on this here, and it just connects you automatically. When I came yesterday to London and I back up my pictures automatically once I'm in Wi-Fi, when I got to the apartment, my pictures were already backed up because I walked through the street and automatically I'm connecting regularly to phone Wi-Fi when it's available. Biggest areas of density is Europe right now. We do have a focus in Europe where we have partnerships in different countries. When we do have a partnership with a telco, we reach pretty dense coverage in a very short time. Okay? You go to Portugal, you find it everywhere. Okay? Belgium, Brussels, Tokyo, we work with SoftBank, which is a mobile operator. Moscow, a lot of areas that you probably travel to quite regularly or could travel to quite regularly, we already do have coverage. Our ambition is, and our plan is, with current expansion to reach European coverage in the next 5 years. That means having a penetration of 25% of the households, 20 to 25% of the households with phone Wi-Fi. So who's using this? Are people using this? Again, we get a lot of things. Yeah, great, 12 million hotspots, excellent. Just to give you a couple data points of are people using this? Yeah, people are using it, but most of it, phones are using it. Okay? We transport on a global basis daily 100,000 gigabytes of traffic. Actually, it's quite north of that and growing very, very rapidly. What is that? It's kind of like the 12 million number, right? It's not tangible. It's more than Vodafone transports in the UK. Okay? In the UK, Vodafone says that they have 90,000 gigabytes per day on a multi-billion CapEx network. Our network, our CapEx, close to zero. What we do is we do a software upgrade of existing Wi-Fi. We're utilizing an underutilized asset. We're utilizing Wi-Fi that's sitting at home already for your usage, plugged into a DSL line that's owned by somebody else. Most of the users are mobile. Okay? It's 80% of all our access is mobile. We have 5 million, roughly 5 million people, or phones, devices that connect on a regular basis. How big can it get? Look, what's driving the growth? There's two things that drive the growth. One is usage, and it's all video. Video, people shop, they look at the video. Okay? You have a clothing online store, it's a video. On one hand, it's driven by demand, and mostly video, mobile data demand. On the other hand, it's driven by a tremendous explosion of devices that have Wi-Fi. Right? It's not every mobile phone. There's billions of devices out there that have Wi-Fi only. Right? There's no market for this. There's nobody who's addressing that need. Right now, it's 10 billion. I think in 2017, 2020, it's 30 billion. So our growth, how big can it get, is driven by market dynamics of how much is the market growing. Very quickly, just what does that mean for us as a company? We'll have over 50 million hotspots in the next 5 to 7 years. That's with ongoing discussions that we have and growth that we've experienced. We'll have more than 100 million devices connecting regularly on an ongoing basis, automatically, and we'll have millions of gigabytes. Okay? What does that mean for us in terms of company? How big can the company get? And that's for the question for the venture capitalists. Well, I agree with what I heard before. It's very difficult to predict exactly what's the size of the company then, but I can tell you it's going to be very big. What's driving our company's success is the growth of mobile data. What's driving our company's value is how often do people use it. In terms of revenues, how do we make revenues? We make revenues from currently, last year we made 32.5 million euros, growing healthy. We make revenues from access, that is people paying for access who are not members of the community. Okay? Bit of a cumbersome process as it is currently. You find a hotspot, you take out your credit card and you pay for it, or you pay with a premium SMS. So that's one way, and that's the lion's share of our revenues that we have. We think that's going to go much more towards an app-based payment, towards companies paying us for the access, towards advertising-sponsored access. All kinds of access paid. We can bundle it in with devices. Okay? There is many, many ways to optimize that payment flow. We get paid by our telco partners, and we do get, obviously, we sell hardware, we get a good fees from that. Another last point to what else are we doing, and I think it's closing a question that a lot of people always ask us. Well, this is for people who are at home, who share. I never find you when I'm in a small business, that's where people use Wi-Fi. We are putting together a proposition, no, we're actually testing it already, which is a specific product for small and medium businesses, okay? Shops, online shops, they want to give Wi-Fi. Right now, the way to give Wi-Fi is in a very cumbersome way. Either they give you the password or they just open up the Wi-Fi. We allow them in a very simple way to set up a Wi-Fi network that's customized for the shop, in a very simple way to customize it, in a very simple way to give customers access with social media, with Facebook, with Google, etc. And then, in turn, get back information on that shopper. Right? Wi-Fi is a lot more than internet access. Wi-Fi is very, very intelligent. We know who's connected where, how often the person came back, how often he went to the shop, how much time he spends there. And we're working on that. We call it intelligent Wi-Fi. It goes from Wi-Fi access into providing intelligent Wi-Fi. The sector is booming. We are the category leader in Wi-Fi with what we've done so far. Our next steps in terms of expansion is regional expansion. US is on the roadmap. Latin America is on the roadmap. Asia comes from Japan, where we have a very good coverage, and Europe we're already on very good track. That's it from my side, and I'm handing back. Thank you very much.